His commitment to deepening relations with Malawi after the president's working visit to our country recently. But of particular interest at this time, of course, is the Bushiri matter, which was discussed as well. Remember, the couple skipped the country in contravention of their bail conditions. They returned to their home country of Malawi, and we've just heard this evening that while they were arrested, they have now been released. And I'm joined now by our Justice and Correctional Services Minister, Ronald Lamola. Minister, thank you very much for your time. I have to ask you about the developing news around the Bushiris. And what we're being told is that the reason they may have been released are among the following reasons. Perhaps you can give clarity. That it seems possibly the extradition order was not final but was provisional. That there was a problem with the arrest warrant itself in terms of process, and also you mentioned yourself that the red alert had gone out with Interpol. There's some concern that that might not have been procedural. And then the other issue is that it could be that their release was because they have diplomatic status. What information do you have for why the Bushiris have been released in Malawi today?
At this stage, we do not have a report as to what might have led to the release, except what we see from the news. But I can confirm that from our side, we followed all the procedures in terms of the Article 10 of the SADC protocol of issuing a warrant of arrest, which then expects that it must be sent to the Malawian authorities. And the Malawian authorities will have to follow their own procedures to effect and execute that warrant.
Now, is it of critical nature whether the provisional order, whether the extradition order was provisional or final? Could you tell us?
It is not, because in terms of the SADC protocol, to which Malawi is a signatory, is that Article 10 of the SADC protocol, a provisional warrant of arrest can be issued to secure the arrest of the fugitive, awaiting the final papers. And in terms of that article, we have got 30 days to then forward the final request for extradition. And in this regard, the 30 days was going to start. Is supposed to start from the time or date of arrest.
All right, so let me just make sure I'm understanding you correctly, that you're saying that under the extradition treaty, this was a provisional warrant of arrest, but it should not have made any difference to this issue, and it shouldn't have led to their release in Malawi because you had 30 days to finalize it. Am I correct?
Yes. If they have to be released, the due process must be followed. But as I've said, I don't have a report of what could have led to the reasons of the release. Neither am I aware whether the Malawian authorities at this stage had followed their own internal procedures. As you are aware, in South Africa, all this is the judicial process. It goes through the courts where the warrants of arrest are issued and all that. So in Malawi, they also have to follow their own set-up procedures to ensure that by the time they execute the warrant, it is within the laws of their own republic. So, because I don't have the report from the authorities there, I may not be able to comment whether such was complied with and what are the reasons they were given bail.
Will you be seeking an urgent discussion with the Malawian authorities now?
As you can see, we have acted with agency from the beginning of this matter in terms of Interpol, in terms of also issuing the provisional warrant of arrest. We are continuing to treat this matter as urgent. And then, as you have heard, within the 30 days period, we're expected to then send the formal extradition request. But we have set ourselves a timeline that we need to do so within 2 weeks. It's important that we follow all the legal prescripts and procedures so that our papers are not found wanting on the basis of technicality.
Absolutely.
Hence, the NPA, the Hawks, and even ourselves as the central authority are being meticulous to follow the procedures. And it will only when we now we've finalized that process, when we will then engage with the Malawian authorities on the fact and also to enlighten them of the procedures we follow this side, and also to continue with the mutual cooperation that we are having with them.
All right, so Minister, what you're saying is that everything possibly done in the right way from the South African side. You haven't had official word from the Malawians as yet that they've been released. Let me ask you about their diplomatic status, because that is another thing that may have come into play and secured their release. What we understand of Malawian extradition law is that they will only extradite you if you're a diplomat, if you are guilty of treason or suspected of treason or murder. So that in itself, if they do have diplomatic status, could have secured their release. Do they have diplomatic status? Are you aware?
No, I'm not aware, and we will, as we prepare all the papers, also look into all those things, including what is the provisions of the Malawian laws in that regard, and prepare ourselves to go and argue the matter in Malawi through our own lawyers or through lawyers we may have in Malawi on that issue. It will still be an argument that will have to be done through the court processes.
Yes, I mean, this is the thing, is what is your next step? Because there have been accusations, and you said to me just a few moments ago that you've been working hard to really make this as quick as possible, but some people are saying you're moving too slowly. Are you prepared to send people, as you say, to Malawi to actually make this happen? What is the next step? What is your feasible next step after you've spoken to the Malawian authorities?
I have just said that we are not moving too slowly. We are moving very quickly. And as you have seen, a warrant of arrest was issued through Interpol. We also issued through the processes here, the provisional warrant of arrest that is guided by Article 10 of the SADC protocol. And that is very quick. And I have said that we immediately in the process of preparing for the formal extradition request, that in terms of the SADC protocol, we're expected to deliver within 30 days of the date of securing the arrest of the fugitive. So we have set ourselves a timeline of doing so within the next 2 weeks, not within 30 days. So you will see that we are treating this matter as urgent, but we also have to ensure that we're being meticulous.
Exactly.
We follow all legal prescripts, because
Minister,
if we're not being meticulous and not following prescripts, you will fall on legal technicalities.
that is very true. Minister, the fact that bail was granted to this couple in the first place, do you view that as a failure of our justice system?
No, I will not want to comment on that issue of the bail yet, because I do not want to interfere with the work of the magistrates or of that of the judiciary. And my comment might weigh in it on whether they will get a fair trial or not and all those things. So I will not want to comment on that. The only thing I can say is that Section 35 of our Constitution guarantees a fair trial, guarantees a right to a fair hearing to any person. This includes any fugitive that we might bring back into the country. Minister, that person will be guaranteed in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution.
Minister, the reason I'm asking these questions is because also today we have seen former President Jacob Zuma walk out of the state capture of inquiry without giving any urgent reason to Justice Zondo. He has essentially broken the law. A former president doing something like this has many in the legal world absolutely shocked. And a lot of people have said to me this evening, it's creating a sense that you can just do whatever you like. The laws don't matter in this country. And this is why I'm asking you for your comment on the fact that former President Jacob Zuma walked out of the Zondo Commission today.
The law matters in this country. And up to now, I think Judge Zondo has been handling the state capture inquiry very well, and we leave it into his capable hands, and how he deals with the legalities and everything that relates to the state capture inquiry. As you are aware, we are awaiting a report which we expect that it will have to be done as soon as the process is completed. It is in the interest of the people of this country that all ventilation and all issues are ventilated in front of the commission, and evidence is led, and the commission wrap up and complete its job. And we believe that Judge Zondo will be able to provide us a report which will tell the people of South Africa what happened. It is in the best interest of this country. So I can only state at that level that from up to so far, we are satisfied that the processes happening are fair, are within the Constitution Act, are within the Act that governs commissions of inquiries. We have had many commissions of inquiries here in this country, which have run very smoothly in line with the law, including guided by the Constitution of the Republic. So I think Judge Zondo will continue the job as it is happening, and we believe he is capable to handle whatever issues that arise within the Commission.
Well, thank you so much for your time this evening. We do appreciate it. Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Ronald Lamola, he has not as yet been contacted by the Malawian authorities, so we have informed him of the fact that we are hearing the Bushiris have been given, or they have been released from custody. The news we're getting from Malawi, and of course it is a developing story, so things may change, but what we are hearing is that arrest was illegal, whether it's because process wasn't followed, and of course the Justice Minister says absolutely they did it down the line the right way from South Africa's side. Whether it's because of that or their diplomatic status, we simply don't know at this stage. But you can be sure, as soon as we get more information, we'll bring it right to you. Let's move on with this story now.